City of Women. Have you ever wondered what it will be like to have a women-only city or community? What would be your expectation from such a city? Will it be chaotic or peaceful? Men and women alike are of the opinion that women are not capable of living on their own without some measure of support or direction from men. They say women are strange beings who cannot even understand themselves, let alone cope with one another. There is even an unspoken animosity towards women who occupy sensitive positions in government and corporations. We claim that we are past the age when women are discriminated in the society and oppressed by the menfolk, but things haven't really changed much, especially in this part of the world. Yes, women now have access to education and can now air their views unrestrictedly, but then there are still some cultures and laws that manipulate the rights of women and subject them to unfair treatments. The Sharia law mandates women to dress in a particular way and allows aged men to marry girls young enough to be their granddaughters. Somewhere in South America, there is a community comprising only of women. Novia do Cordeiro, in southeast of Brazil, is home to more than 600 women. Most of them are aged between 20 and 35 years. Some of the women are already married and have families, but their husbands and any sons over 18 are made to work away from home and only allowed to return at the weekends. It means girl power dominates in the rural community, with women running every aspect of life from farming to town planning and even religion. Contrary to popular belief that women are incapable of ruling themselves, the residents of the town of Novia do Cordeiro testify that their town is peaceful and functions better without interference from men. According to Rosalie Fernandes, aged 49, there are a lot of things that women do better than men. Our town is prettier, more organized, and far more harmonious than if men were in charge. When problems or disputes arise, we resolve them in a woman's way, trying to find consensus rather than conflict. We share everything, even the land we work on. Nobody competes with anyone here. It's all for one and one for all, she continued. The whole town came together recently to help buy a huge widescreen TV for our community center so we can all watch soap operas together. And there's always time to stop and gossip, try on each other's clothes, and do each other's hair and nails. One would ask, how did this community come to be? Who instituted it? Well, let's go back to the beginning. Novia do Cordeiro was born in the hills near Belo Vale, in Minas Gerais state, in what could be termed an unfortunate situation. Maria Senhorina de Lima, who is regarded the founder of the town, was branded an adulterer after leaving a man she had been forced to marry and shacked up with another suitor. The predominant culture was excommunication by the Catholic Church, not just for her, but also for the next 5 generations of her family. In 1891, she was chased out of town. Estranged from the local population, Maria and other women who subsequently went to live with them were maligned as irresponsible women and prostitutes. This caused them to isolate themselves from the outside world. Slowly, the community began to grow as more single women and their mother-only families joined them. All attempts by the menfolk to interfere with their way of life only strengthened their resolve to live in a strictly female environment. However, in 1940, Anicio Pereira, an evangelical pastor, took one of the women aged 16 to be his wife. He went on to found a church in the growing community. He also initiated and imposed strict puritanical rules, banning them from drinking alcohol, listening to music, cutting their hair, or using any type of contraceptive. In 1995, Anicio died, and so did his rules. The women of Novia do Cordeiro decided never again to let a man dictate how they should live. To cement their decision, one of the first things they did was to dismantle the male-biased organized religion he had set up. They believe that God is in their hearts and feel no need to go to church, get married in front of a priest, or baptize their children. They claim that these rules were made up by men. One would wonder if their conviction was born out of their resolve to be independent of men or an excuse to live their lives as they please without conforming to the doctrine of the God who they claim is in their heart. As with everything else in life, the women of Novia do Cordeiro were soon faced with the downside of their women-only community. 23-year-old Nelma Fernandes admits that though their women are famed to be strikingly beautiful in their region, it has become impossible for them to find a would-be spouse. Here, the only men we single girls meet are either married or related to us. Everyone is a cousin. I haven't kissed a man for a long time. We all dream of falling in love and getting married, but we like living here and don't want to have to leave the town to find a husband, she continued. The quest for eligible bachelors has now led the community's many single young ladies to make an entreaty for interested men, but only those ready to acclimatize to living in a woman's world. We'd like to get to know men who would leave their own lives and come to be a part of ours. But first, they need to agree to do what we say and live according to our rules, she concluded. For a city that has defied all odds to establish a system for themselves in their women-only environment and has trodden down every attempt by their male counterparts to interfere with their lives, isn't this appeal belittling?